Despite my minor amounts of victories in Bedwars doubles, it was now time for the final game I've been dreading since the beginning of this video, solo Bedwars. In solo games, it's kind of difficult to determine which direction to bridge because if I go one way, there's a decent chance another player will come from the other direction, and without a teammate to defend your bed, speed bridgers have an advantage. Nevertheless, round 86 I covered my bed with one layer of wool, and since I don't need to share the item generator with other players, I got some TNT and a stone sword and went after Blue's bed. After I destroyed the bed, I expected Blue to be somewhere on his base still since his bridge wasn't near an island, but I didn't see him anywhere. Weird. Using Blue's generator, I restocked on blocks and bought another TNT, and after returning to my base, I decided I had to get Yellow's bed next. In the middle of bridging, Yellow saw me coming and tried to bridge to meet me. He wasn't able to reach me, but I was too high to jump down, so I tried to jump to a portion of the island. I didn't take too much damage from the first jump, but I missed the next jump, and just like that, my health had depleted. My generator got me enough gold to purchase some iron armor, and after getting more blocks, I tried to stop Yellow from using my bridge, but he killed me and my bed was gone. But at least I broke a bed. Round 87, Pink seemed like the easiest option for getting to, especially since he'd flat bridged and his bridge was so easily accessible. A struggle ensued, but I should have broken the bed and then killed him, and it would have been faster, but oh well. After he respawned, I began fighting and I almost got him, but he managed to get the last hit in. When I respawned, I bought an iron sword so I could finish him off, but aww, I wanted to kill him. Since I was already outside of my base, I decided this was probably the best time to collect emeralds and managed to grab 6 of them. But on my way back, Yellow tried to take them from me, and he almost got them, but he somehow fell off the cliff, so I got to keep my emeralds. Unfortunately, my bed was destroyed, so I figured since Cyan's base was empty, I could go over there to get some diamond armor, but I never made it off the bridge. Round 88, I covered my bed and then I rushed Aqua and was just barely able to break his bed before I died. After respawning, I decided it was necessary to add another layer of wool to my bed defense before I went back out to break the next bed. But when I was passing through Aqua's base, I somehow managed to kill Aqua and get his items. Guess I'm just that good. Then I went and caught Yellow by surprise and tried to break his bed, but I was killed before the TNT blew up. I should have put some of my items in an ender chest, I'm so mad. Then Yellow decided to take some measures to ensure I didn't get his bed again by destroying my bed. I tried to get him back, but after playing a lot of Bedwars, I know that it's difficult to kill people with the weakest sword in the game. If I could direct your attention to this grid here, you'll notice a significant time difference compared to playing round 88. That is because it was summer vacation and I didn't bring my computer with me. So round 89 takes place just over 2 months later and I've become a little rusty and jet lagged, so we'll just have to see how these rounds go.
A few moments later.
Hey look, it's the like button! I gotta hit it! In round 90, I definitely show signs that I'm jet lagged. I put a second layer of wool around my bed and after gearing up, I spotted Green trying to speed bridge over to me. I tried stopping him with the fireball, but there must be something wrong with the fireballs now because he didn't fall into the void. So I built up to meet him, but he started running away. I used this as an opportunity to connect my bridge to his, but I shouldn't have hesitated so much. When Green came back, he had shears, so I let him break the blocks below me and tried to knock him away, but my jet-lagged brain led me to believe I could get his bed instead, which was a huge mistake. When I respawned, Green was trying to get on my bridge, and I had just enough resources for a fireball, but I'm thinking the fireballs are broken or something. Green ended up falling, and then I killed him. With him dead, I scrambled to get his bed before he caught me, but right as I fireballed the bed, my own bed was gone. Luckily, Green seemed more interested in the white guy who broke my bed instead of me, who was at his base breaking his bed. I knew I would be next, and so I bought a fireball and tried to blow up the white guy, but he had a fireball too, and we both missed. I knew trying to go over to white was some sort of elaborate trick to kill me, so I feigned and then went over to kill her, and accidentally deflected a fireball. But then I ended up letting myself fall for the trick, and she killed me easily. Round 91, instead of trying to rush to other players, I decided to bridge over to diamonds, and I managed to get 3 of them. With them, I bought a mining fatigue trap and a counter-offensive trap. Not long after buying some fireballs, Blue tried to get over my bridge, but the fireballs finally started working properly and he didn't make it. I could see Yellow coming, and so I bought iron armor and another fireball and tried to blow him up too, but it didn't seem to work again. Oh, he fell. Okay. Yellow would be back, so I added another layer of wool to my bed, and soon my trap was triggered. I fought hard to keep him from breaking my exposed bed, and I thought it was all over after I died, but the fire from his explosive finished him off for me. As soon as I respawned, I bought some end stone to cover my bed with since I was a little shaken from almost losing my bed, and found Yellow's gold and diamonds on the ground. But before I could finish recovering my bed, Yellow was back, but that was when my counter-offensive trap was triggered. It was a little tricky trying to get up to him without blocks, but I was able to kill Yellow again. After that encounter, I restocked on blocks and a better sword, and was going to go and destroy Yellow's bed, but I didn't notice that Aqua had already done that until I saw Aqua coming to me. I tried to stop him, but he dodged my fireball and propelled himself to my bed with his own fireball. With my counteroffensive trap going off, I thought I could get to him in time, but he did way more knockback than I was expecting with just an iron sword. But it wasn't all bad. I managed to get the second highest number of kills, so I guess I'm not as rusty at fighting as I thought I was going to be. After waiting a few days to get over jet lag, I went back to recording, and in round 92, I was ready again. Also, please ignore these blurry edges. I forgot to keep my computer display resolution the same, which resulted in that. Anyways, I rushed Aqua's bed, and I could tell he wasn't ready for me because he was desperately trying to cover his bed. I jumped down and placed the TNT and then ran around the bed so that Aqua would both chase me and get blown away by the explosion, and then I broke his bed. I thought Aqua had fallen into the void, but he'd saved himself by placing a block under him and catching himself. I wasn't expecting that, so he managed to kill me, but then I came back and killed him. Aqua had apparently been bridging to the middle island, which was why his bed was still exposed, so I got more blocks and went over it. Shortly after crossing the bridge, I met Yellow, and we both tried bridging to the other. While he kept building up, I just jumped to his side, but I missed. Luckily, I was able to block Clutch and sneak past Yellow to get to his base and break his bed too. But not long after, my own bed was broken. Since I had resupplied at Yellow's base, I felt ready to break Green's bed next, which I did by using a fireball. With Pink being the only one left with the bed, I was feeling pretty confident, but my mistake was not being able to fireball Green and missing. I underestimated my distance from Green and was caught by surprise after trying to get away with emeralds, and I couldn't switch to my sword fast enough. But on the bright side, I don't think I've ever been able to get 3 beds in a row before. Round 93 was an absolute disaster in comparison with the last round. It started when I bridged all the way to Blue's base, but I didn't pay close enough attention to where Blue was, and all I could do in the end was place my TNT and hope someone else got his bed. And now this is where the annoying to watch part begins. I bought another fireball and was about to go over to Blue's base when I saw Green going over Blue's own bridge. I turned around and bought some other things, and while doing so I heard bed destroyed sounds, but didn't look closely to see whose bed it was. I also saw the Green guy's name in chat and assumed that he died breaking Blue's bed. When I went over to Blue's base, he was running back and I thought he was bedless, so I tried to knock him into the void, but missed. I instead jumped down and killed him while he was trying to buy an upgrade for himself, and I heard the ding of death, but I didn't know he still had his bed, and so I took my time in the shop and was caught completely off guard when he respawned and killed me. But then what I thought happened a minute ago turned out to actually happen. Blue then tried to go over my bridge, and I was worried I was going to add to the embarrassment of not getting his bed, but then I took him down with me. After respawning, Green was on his way to get my bed too. I tried to fireball him, but I missed him, and so I made a difficult jump over to him. But then he tried to blow me up, and without any blocks I tried to make the big jump back, but was too slow at pushing my spacebar. When I respawned, Green had made it to my base and we engaged. Unfortunately, he had a better sword and won. Just before I respawned, my bed was gone. Hey, that rhymed. When I did respawn, I just barely managed to kill him. With the few resources I still had, I stocked up on what I could and then went to Blue's old base to get more items, and surprisingly, I was the only other player left besides Aqua. Predictably, I went to the middle island so I could get to Aqua's base and picking up emeralds as I went. Aqua tried to meet me and I tried blowing him into the void, but it didn't work, but while I was trying to get to a new angle, Aqua fell into the void by himself. And I got the kill credit apparently. I got to the last bridge connecting Aqua's base with the middle islands, but before I could cross it, Aqua was coming. And I feel like I could have done this fight differently, especially after squandering my fireball supply, but Aqua got more hits on me and had several upgrades on his gear, so it was never a question of whether I could still win. But I still got to the top 3 killers, which now makes me think that maybe killing in Bedwars isn't the best way to show how good I'm getting at PvP. Round 94, I was already bridging, but Green was also already bridging, and I knew there was no way I could counter the high ground, so after pulling off a perfect TNT jump, I broke his bed right after he broke mine. I bought a fireball to finish him off. Revenge! I was hoping to get some emeralds to get diamond armor, but I ran into White, who was already several steps ahead of me. I knew I didn't have much of a chance anyway, so I blew myself up. Round 95, Green was next to me again, and as fate would have it, we fought each other several times. The first time he killed me and took my diamonds, but luckily he decided to go spend them on something, so I tried getting to his bridge, but in my haste I didn't think to get any blocks, and since I was trying to salvage some on the way, I met the green guy on the bridge to his island. I managed to hit him hard enough to knock him off the cliff, but when I tried to go over his bridge I slipped. As you can see, I was pretty angry with myself. At that point, all I cared about was defending my bed, and so I fireballed a lot of the bridge that connected to my island, and while Green was trying to bridge, I had enough of a time span to buy another fireball and blow Green into the void again. While I waited for Green to come again, I put another layer of wool around my bed, and it's a good thing I did because Green came back, but he didn't have a chance against me. After the 4th time he came for me, I tried to fireball him again, but he managed to survive, and after he did some intimidation, he jumped down. I got 1 hit on him, but he hit me onto the other side of my bed, and I couldn't get to him before he broke it. He nearly killed me, but I got the last combo on him. Then after stalking up, I blew Green into the void again, and I think he might have disconnected because it wasn't at his base, and after I broke his bed, he was already dead. But while this did help my self-esteem, Pink killed me. Then they died. Oh hey, #1 killer! Round 96, he began bridging to— What? Already? Round 96, I bought some TNT and blocks before— What? Already again? Round 96, after I killed Red and got to his base, I used the trick the green guy from round 95 used, and after placing TNT next to his bed defense, I placed blocks to slow down Red, which also conveniently blew Red into the void so I could break his bed. Then when he respawned, I placed the blocks again and killed him like a pro. After I got back to my base, I stocked up and I was going to destroy my next victim's bed, but ran into green. I used up all my fireballs to keep him from getting the high ground, but then he placed TNT to propel himself past me. I tried to stop him, but fell. Well, this is a good spot to end this round. In round 97, I killed Aqua like I played Bedwars a lot, breaking his defense, placing the blocks in front of him before he could hit me, and then throwing him straight into the void. That's pretty much all I could manage as Pink killed me. My hits wouldn't register or something. Round 98, literally 10 seconds after placing wool around my bed, Green was suddenly there and breaking my bed. This is probably the fastest I've lost a game of Bedwars so far. But hey, I fixed my display resolution. But it's almost the end of the video and I really wanted to win one of these rounds, so this is round 98B, which lasted longer than the last one. Yellow was the closest to me, so of course he tried getting to my bed. When he was right above me, I tried to jump and knock him off, but I missed, and thought I was going to lose this round, but by some miracle my bed was still there, despite being exposed. I killed Yellow without a second thought. Soon enough, Yellow was back, this time with TNT, and when I tried to get to him, he fireball jumped past me. But he made the foolish decision to try to kill me first. I just barely managed to kill him. I wanted to get his bed, but I had low health, so I towered up and speed bridged over his bed, which for some reason was exposed, and placed TNT to blow Yellow away so I could get his bed. I knew I wasn't going to live, but it would have been nice if I could have killed him, then I wouldn't have gotten this insult. Sounds like a skill issue, TBH. Yellow came to enact his revenge, but he was knocked down by Pink, and I wasn't able to kill Pink before he placed TNT, and I desperately tried to stop them, but I couldn't. Soon though, everyone lost their beds, and I thought I might actually have a chance of winning, and tried fireballing Green, who had diamond armor. Unfortunately for me, Green was prepared. But I guess third place isn't all bad, even though that seems to be a constant thing. Round 99, Aqua broke my bed, and what followed was an intense battle of knockback and blocks, which of course, I didn't win. Round 100, Gray and I kept throwing each other into the void, and after a long time, he barely killed me and got my bed. But a few minutes later, after getting supplies and a golden apple, I towered above his bed, and while waiting for the TNT to blow up, I consumed my gapple to help me recover from the fall damage. I got his bed, but I didn't make it any further. Aw, and I didn't even make it to the top 3 kills. This would have been a bad way to end this video, but I just played 100 rounds, and there's no way I was going to finish this video without winning at least one round of solo Bedwars, so I tried again. But I lost. Alright, again. What? Again! What? Why is everyone so fast? Ah! Clearly bed rushing wasn't working out for me, so I decided to try something different, camping in the corner of the map. So in round 116, I covered my bed with endstone, wood, and hardened clay instead of just wool, and I discovered that on some maps, the resource generator is actually faster, and so I stocked up on fireballs. Then, I just waited. Gray and White were soon the only other players, and I was isolated and protected in my corner of loneliness, so I used a fireball to blow away White's meager wool defense and announced it in the chat. Soon, Gray had broken White's bed, and so now I was the only one left with the bed. But Gray had full control of the emeralds and diamonds, and since he had potions, I had no idea where he was, and I had come too far in this round to not win, and all I could do was hope for the best to play some unnecessary intense music. After I used my last fireball and saw Gray wool around my defense, I was worried Gray was here, but in a few more seconds, I'd won. And got the second highest number of kills. Finally, now I never have to play Bedwars again. Now that I've played 100 rounds of PvP in version 1.8, my thoughts on it are, you should be careful of carpal tunnel, because a lot of the time you'll be clicking really fast, which to some people may not be very enjoyable. But since I mostly butterfly clicked on my glorious Model O, I didn't have any problems with carpal tunnel. Or maybe it's because I took long breaks between recording sessions. But as I have proven, clicking fast doesn't always mean you'll win your fight. Heck, I can barely beat my siblings with only a sword, so you need to know the techniques, like stunning your opponent so you can get a combo on them, among other things. It takes practice and a good mouse. But now, it's the end of the video, and thanks for sticking with me to the end. If you enjoyed, you could consider watching this next video. I don't know what's going to show up here, but it's probably worth watching. Okay, bye.